Good evening, and I would like to call the April 9th, 2026 Plan Commission meeting to order. If you are able, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Linda, can we have the roll call, please?
Yes. Bill Thomas.
Here.
Ken Carroll.
Here.
Cheryl Slebizeski.
Here.
Gordon Butler.
Here.
Jeff Peterson.
Here.
Marty Flynn. And John Stanton.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Marty. Commissioner Quinn did let me know he wasn't going to be able to be here, so in addition to the commissioners sitting up here, at the far end there, we have Atifa, who is our city planner, and is going to be presenting the two cases tonight. Next to her is Ron Metzger, our economic and development consultant, and our executive secretary, Linda Rule. Reha, I'm sorry. So, first order of business is the minutes of the March 12th, 2026 Plan Commission. Can I have a motion to approve as presented in the packet?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carroll. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson.
Yes.
Ken Carroll.
Yes.
Marty Flynn. Cheryl Slebizeski.
Abstain.
John Stanton.
Yes.
Gordon Butler.
Yes.
And Bill Thomas.
Yes. Okay, we have two cases on the agenda for tonight. Our first case is a public hearing and consideration of petitions SU-26-4-4-2 and a variation request under case V-26-4-4-2. The request of Francisco Martinez Trejo for an amended special use for an automobile sales and/or leasing business and an automobile body repairing/painting business, and variations from section 11.8, the schedule of parking requirements of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance to decrease the required parking spaces for both automobile sales and/or leasing business and automobile body repairing painting business located on the 20,575 square foot B3 Business Service District Zone property located at 1923 North Broadway Street in Crest Hill. Whew, that is a mouthful. Atifa, is all the paperwork in order?
All necessary paperwork is in order.
All right, thank you. With that, I would like to have a motion to open the public hearing.
So move. Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Carroll, second by Commissioner Peterson. Roll call, please.
Ken Carroll.
Yes.
Jeff Peterson.
Yes.
John Stanton.
Yes.
Gordon Butler.
Yes.
Cheryl Slebizeski.
Yes.
And Bill Thomas.
Yes, okay, public hearing is opened at 7:04. And again, the subject of this hearing is to discuss the request of Francisco Martinez Trejo. Is anybody from the applicant here? Thought I saw you come in, thank you. Seeking approval for an amended special use permit and variations for his automobile sales and leasing business and his automobile body repairing and painting business. I would like to ask Atifa to present the specifics of this case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Francisco Martinez is the owner of the subject property located at 1923 North Broadway Street. The applicant is proposing to amend and expand the existing 2009 special use permit to change the auto repair business and include an auto repair and painting business, continue the automobile sales business on the subject property, and seek relief from the Crest Hill zoning ordinance parking requirements to reduce the number of required parking spaces for both businesses. The proposed businesses will provide automated repair, refinishing, and vehicle sales services to the surrounding community. The automobile sale business will operate in conjunction with the auto repair and painting business and will specialize in pre-owned vehicles that have been properly inspected and prepared for sale. Vehicles will be displayed on the property in designated parking areas. Any outdoor vehicle display or storage will be organized and maintained to ensure it does not negatively affect the appearance of the neighborhood. No changes are proposed to the established driveways connecting directly to the public roadways that are designed to accommodate customers and employees. A number of site improvements, as you can see on the site plan. Both of the parking lots, they will be restriped. They are going to install fences on the west side of the property, bordering the residential properties, and the south, bordering the commercial properties. They're going to install a new dumpster enclosure, and they're going to add islands and landscaping on both sides of the driveways to enhance the look and also provide protection and define the entrances to both of the businesses. Overall, the proposed uses for the commercially zoned subject property are consistent with other automotive and commercial activities on Broadway Street Commercial Corridor. By utilizing a B3 zone property and providing a managed, well-maintained operation, the proposed special use is expected to support continued economic activity and stability on Broadway Street while remaining compatible with the surrounding commercial uses. Additionally, the proposed special use is compatible with the surrounding commercial uses and will encourage investment and revitalization in the surrounding neighborhood by activating a property that might otherwise remain underutilized. The variation request to decrease the required parking spaces for both businesses, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. Strict adherence to the required parking standards will reduce the functional space available for vehicle display and service operations, limiting the property's ability to operate efficiently and generate adequate revenue. This unique circumstance creates an economic hardship as the property cannot achieve a reasonable return under the existing parking regulations. Additionally, the property's size, layout, and configuration limit the ability to provide the full number of parking spaces required by the Crest zoning ordinance without compromising essential operational areas for both businesses, such as service bays, vehicle display, and circulation. The requested variation addressed this unique circumstance by allowing the property to be used efficiently and economically without negatively impacting surrounding properties or the overall character of the neighborhood. I also would like to mention some of the conditions for approval for this special use. One is that, as you see on the site plan, the parking lot that we have on the northeast side that is dedicated to the vehicle sale, they can only have vehicle display on the east side of the parking lot, these 3 parking spaces, and they can store vehicles outside of the hours of operation, but not more than that. And the parking spaces on the west side of this parking lot is only restricted to customers and employees, and they cannot have vehicles stored here after hours of operation. And also going back to the auto repair and painting, they have 5 parking spaces that are dedicated to this business, and other than the designated parking spaces on the site plan, they cannot have any other additional on-site parking. They are not going to have any outside repair of vehicles. The hours of operation for the body shop will be limited to Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays closed. And for the auto repair business, the hours of operation will be limited to Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday closed. So these were the notable, I think, more important conditions for approval. The staff recommend the Plan Commission to recommend the City Council conditional approval of the amended special use for an automobile sales and leasing business and automobile body repairing and painting business, and variations request to decrease the required parking spaces for both businesses, subject to the project being implemented in substantial conformance with the 10 conditions for approval and application documents referenced in the April 9, 2026 Plan Commission staff report for petitions case number SU-26-4-4-2 and V-26-4-4-2. And I would like to request the applicant to come to the podium and present their application.
Are there a sign-in sheet there, if you would both sign your name. Okay, and if you would raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, would you state your name and tell us what you want to tell us?
Su nombre y diga lo que quiere decir acerca de lo que quiere que le apruebe.
Yo, bueno, soy Francisco Martínez. Mi plan pues es trabajar para ayudar para la economía de mi familia y pues el país, el estado, la ciudad. Pues yo nada más lo que quiero es poder tener un negocio para poder mantener bien a mi familia y tener trabajadores para poder salir adelante.
So his name is Francisco Martinez Trejo, and the only thing he wants is to have a business so he can provide the income to his family first. He has a family of 4 kids and his wife, and also get income to the city of Crest Hill, get some revenue, get like a business to the city of Crest Hill, so the Crest Hill, so they can the business can grow up, and then it's the only thing he has to want to do. So that's the only way he can get income to his family. So, ¿qué más quiero decir?
Pues nada más es lo que quiero.
So he invests in this business because he invests all his savings he has, and he would like to keep this business running. And it's been a year, dealing to all the licenses and everything and inspections. And finally, at the end, we find Ms. Atefa she's guiding us what we need to do exactly step by step, and we want to follow the instruction and the steps we needed to do. And that's his dream, having this business, and then he can pass to his son or wherever they wanted to, one of them to follow his steps. So he really doesn't want to lose this because he doesn't have money to invest in something else. And he's trying to do the best. He wants to work with the city of Crest Hill to get all requirements he needs. And he's, be able to follow the steps and trying to get this done.
Okay, how long have you been operating the business there?
¿Hace cuánto compró el negocio?
2 años.
He bought this place 2 years ago, and but he was just doing mechanic, and then he knows how to paint, but then he tries to do painting, and then he started dealing with the licenses, so he cannot be working at full like for the last year because he not be able to paint in that place, so he doesn't be able to get the full income he used to have, and well, that's why he's here, trying to get us.
Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. Does he do all the work himself? Is he a body guy, a mechanic, the whole show?
He knows how to do all of things, but he wants to get some people to hire people, and so he knows some people he wants to work with him, but because right now he couldn't be able to do the painting, so he's not be able to hire those people he used to know in the place when he was renting somewhere else. So before he was renting somewhere else, so he has like kind of a team working with him, but then when he bought the place and then he wasn't able to do the painting there, so he has to cut off the employees right now because he doesn't get the income to pay to them. So that's why he used his savings to buy this place, so he doesn't have to be paying rent for someone else.
So as the business grows, he'll bring on more people.
Yes.
Okay, one more thing. Where do the car sales come in?
When he bought that place, it used to be a dealership and a body, auto body too. So when we get the license, they asking us if we're gonna have the dealership still over there in that place. And when the place he was renting before, the guy is a dealership, so that guy renting for him that little space too for the dealership. So he said, like, I can use one space and then the other one I can rent it, so that was gonna help me to pay off the place, more fast.
Okay, so will it all be up and running at the same time, or is it just gonna slowly build?
Well, right now, he's renting that place for someone, the dealership space, but they're gonna be able to put, to put or show the vehicles over there. They just come into the office and do all the paperwork, waiting for, to be approved to have the really open dealership.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
You're welcome.
John, any questions?
No.
Ken? Cheryl? Gordon? Uh, Yeah, I guess after reading over everything, I really don't have a lot of questions. I have to say, I certainly am hoping you nothing but success there, and I'm particularly pleased that all of the things that you have agreed to kind of clean up the entire perimeter and make it look nicer, that is going to be a real plus for that area of Broadway, which could use a little sprucing up. So, yeah, I guess, any more staff comments?
No comments.
Is there anybody in the audience that came to comment on this particular case? No? Okay, all right, thank you.
And I can
Yep.
add that some?
Sure, go
the
ahead.
last thing. So it's already looks so much better than when he bought the place, because it looks like a junk car stuff. They have a lot of cars outside, garbage, a mobile home in the parking lot. So he do the best he can so
Mm-hmm.
far. And then he's just waiting for the approval so he can get better place for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have asked, and so what is your relationship to,
He's my friend, and I am his tax preparer too.
Good for you.
helping him with it.
all right, well,
All the
thank you
stuff.
so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, since there are no more questions or comments from the public, can I have a motion to close the public hearing for these two cases? Motion by Commissioner Butler,
Second.
second by Commissioner Slabazeski. Roll call, please.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
Cheryl Slabazeski. Yes. John Stanton,
Yes.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes,
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
Bill Thomas.
Yes. All right, public hearing closed at 7:18. Do we have anything more, commissioners, that we want to comment on or ask or anything? Okay, so I just want to make sure, I'm sorry, you can answer by sitting down, make sure that when we put together the proposal, we talked to you about 10 conditions that the city needed for you to follow. And while we did not read them, I'm assuming you are familiar with those 10 conditions and agreed to them, or do you want me to read them off again? You're-
Yeah, I have already shared with them the staff report that also, includes all the conditions for approval
Okay,
previously with them, so they are aware of it and they agree.
and you have agreed on it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. So with that, can I have a motion to approve the request of Francisco Martinez Trejo seeking approval for an amended special use permit in the variations for his automobile sales and leasing business and his automobile body repairing and painting business, contingent on the 10 conditions we just discussed?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Carroll,
Second.
second by Commissioner Slabazeski. Roll call, please.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
Cheryl Slabazeski. Yes. Jeff Peterson,
yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so the Plan Commission unanimously recommends City Council's conditional approval of the amended special use for an automobile sales and/or leasing business and an automobile body repairing and painting business, and variations requests from Section 11.8, the schedule of parking requirements of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance, to decrease required parking spaces for both automobile sales and/or leasing business and automobile body repairing painting business, subject to the project being implemented in substantial conformance with the 10 conditions for approval and the application documents referenced in the April 9th, 2026 Plan Commission staff report for petitions case SU 26-4-42 and case V-26-4-2. So our recommendation will now be forwarded to the city council, and they will hear your cases. The work, I had April 27th?
Yes. April
For the,
27th,
for the
work session.
workshop, and then a week later on May 4th for the final vote. But at this point, I would like to congratulate you on receiving the Plan Commission approval to do that. And again, I want to thank you for the improvements that you already have made and will make as part of this approval in that area of Broadway. It is much needed. So thank you so much, and much success as you expand your business. So you are welcome to stay around for the rest of it, but you're also welcome to leave if you would like to get home before the storm. So it's up to you. All right. All right, let me get my act together here. Oh, so what am I missing in all of my notes? Here we go. Okay, sorry about that. I need a good secretary up here. Our second case tonight is the public hearing and consideration of petitions SU-26-3-4-1 and the variation request V-26-3-4-1, a request of George Cruz for a special use for an indoor recreational and entertainment soccer facility, and variations from Code Section 15.12.080, signs in business districts, Chapter 15.12 of the Crest Hill Code of Ordinances and the Sign Code, to increase permitted sign area from 50 square feet to 89 square feet, increase permitted digital sign area from 20 feet to 54 square feet, and increase the permitted sign height from 15 feet to 21 feet, and decrease the required setback from the property line from 10 feet to 3 feet for an existing on-premises freestanding sign located on the 2.23 acres B2 General Business District zoned property located at 905 Theodore Street in Crest Hill, Illinois. Atifa, once again, is the paperwork in order?
All necessary paperwork is in order.
Okay, with that, so I would like to have a motion to open the public hearing for these two cases.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner
Second.
Peterson, second by Commissioner Slabazeski. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson.
Yes.
Cheryl Slabazeski.
Yes.
Gordon Butler.
Yes.
Ken Carroll.
Yes.
John Stanton.
Yes.
And Bill Thomas.
Yes, public hearing opened at 7:24 PM. Again, the subject of this hearing is to discuss the request of George Cruz seeking approval for a special use and variations for an indoor recreational and entertainment soccer facility. I would like to again ask our city planner, Atifa, to present the specifics of this case.
George Cruz is looking to purchase, renovate, and reoccupy an existing vacant commercial property formerly known as Crystal Bowling Lanes located at 905 Theodore Street, which has been vacant since 2020. The applicant is requesting approval of a special use permit for playtime soccer, an indoor soccer sports training and recreational facility, along with a restaurant that will operate daily to serve facility participants and the surrounding community. The applicant and his family has been Crest residents since 2005 and have been operating their business in a small space in Hillcrest Shopping Center for several years. Playtime Soccer will operate as an indoor soccer sports facility designed to provide athletic training, recreational leagues, youth development programming, and community-based sporting events. The facility will accommodate individuals, teams, and organize programs for various age groups and skill levels, with a focus on promoting health, physical activity, and youth engagement. The property will also include a restaurant that will serve food and beverages to athletes, families, visitors, and members of the general public. The restaurant will operate as an American-style bar and grill and will be complementary use to the sports facility while remaining open to the public daily. Site improvements are proposed that will allow the site and building to be improved and further reduce off-site impacts. This will include repairing, replacing adjacent fencing, and installing new landscaping, repaving, restriping the existing parking lots, adding end islands, and lighting repairs. The building's awning will be repaired and replaced, and the ground sign will be reused and updated with a more modern design. Overall, the project represents the adaptive reuse of a vacant commercial building which will replace underutilized and blighted conditions associated with prolonged vacancy with an active, well-maintained supervised use that contributes positively to the neighborhood. The facility will maintain the existing building footprint and site layout, ensuring that it does not constrain future development patterns or infrastructure improvements in the area. As an indoor recreational use, it is compatible in density to other permitted commercial uses in the B2 zoning district and along Theodore Street, which has predominantly commercial uses. The activation of a currently vacant site is expected to support continued reinvestment in the neighborhood by increasing activity, improving property maintenance, and enhancing overall marketability. The variation request for the existing on-premises freestanding sign, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The sign's size, placement, and design are modest and in keeping with the scale of the neighboring commercial signage, ensuring it does not dominate or visually disrupt the streetscape. Granting the variation request will allow adequate visibility for the business to attract patrons without changing the overall appearance or character of the neighborhood. I would like to also mention a few conditions for approval for this project. All the proposed interior and exterior improvements shall be completed prior to occupancy of the business. The hours of the operation for indoor soccer facility, the proposed hours are Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Hours of operation for the restaurants is proposed as Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. The total maximum occupancy for the entire facility, including the customers, players, employees, and everything, is limited to no more than 200 people. The subject property shall not be used as a banquet hall, convention center, or any other special ticketed events. And the proposed indoor soccer facility and restaurant shall comply with Chapter 9.72, curfew applicable to minors of the City of Crest Code of Ordinances. The staff recommend the Plan Commission to recommend the City Council conditional approval of the special use for an indoor recreational and entertainment soccer facility and requested variations for the existing on-premises freestanding sign, subject to the project being implemented in substantial conformance with the 6 conditions for approval and application documents referenced in the April 9, 2026 Plan Commission staff report for the petitions case numbers SU-26-3-4-1 and V-26-3-4-1, and I would like to request the applicant to come to the podium and present their application.
Okay, if you would raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and then just please sign in there for the record, and then you can begin.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here tonight. My name is George Cruz. I have been a resident of Crest since 2005. My father opened the soccer facility in the Hillcrest Center in 2010 and has been running as a just one soccer field It's not an official size soccer field. It's on a smaller scale. After opening in 2010, in 2015, my father decided, you know what, it's time to expand. But we did not want to move from Crest. We wanted to stay here. It took us a good amount of time to find a location, and this year it finally happened, and we found 905 Theodore, and we love the space, good amount of space, good parking, and nothing better than to stay in Crest Hill. I'm one of the oldest sons. My sister grew up in Crest Hill, so like I said, we like to stay here. This business means a lot for us, just because we come from a sports background, and no better than just to keep it going. This facility, we're looking to expand to 2 fields instead of having 1, 2 fields. We'll have a concession stand for the players, a healthy bar for the players, and as well, we wanted to add the restaurant. I come from a restaurant background as well. For the past 5 years, I've owned 2, 3 restaurants, and no better way than to as a family collectively work on this. My father, my mother, and my sister run the soccer trainings, the soccer leagues, soccer practices, and then myself and my brother would be running the restaurant. That's most of the things I have to say, but excited and looking forward to see what we can get going on here.
Can you just explain a little bit about the layout? Obviously, we can see the 2 soccer fields, but we can see at the bottom is where your restaurant is going to be.
Let me zoom
Whoop, what's happening there?
in. I'm trying to
That's
zoom in,
okay.
sorry. Okay.
So what is it, what's going to separate the 2 soccer fields from, like, the restaurant?
I believe there is a wall already.
Yeah.
Is there going, I thought I read something about some type of a netting, permanent netting, or?
So there will be netting on the south side of the soccer fields that separate the soccer fields from the concession area. But what separates the soccer fields from the restaurant is there is a wall with doors that separate the restaurant area from the soccer fields.
And when you mentioned you were going to have a healthy concession stand for the players, is that the one, right there?
Yeah, so there'll be a concession stand, and we have shakes and stuff like that. If it's not there, then it's in the restaurant. But it's, we have the concession stand there for the fans.
All right, so, one concern I had expressed is the fact that I'm sure a great percentage of your clientele are going to be young people.
It's a little bit of everything. We have from young kids to adults
Uh-huh.
that play in the league or just train. So it's a mix of
And the
both.
fact that in the restaurant, isn't there a bar? I thought I saw something that there was going to be oh, there it is, yeah. So with the alcohol being there, are you going to allow alcohol to go through those doors and go out to the soccer fields, or will you just retain the alcohol for consumption in the restaurant area only?
The alcohol would stay in the restaurant, retained.
Will you have signs that say that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I was hoping you would say yes to that. So there aren't any, well, obviously you're very familiar with doing this on a much smaller scale, but there's no locker rooms. Where do the children and/or adults change into their clothing, particularly in the winter when they're coming in with heavy coats? I didn't see any place, because is it really like it looks there? There's almost no side areas for people to stand or sit?
I'll speak to that if you wouldn't mind. So there is a room on the east side of the building where they can put lockers in for changing out. In the bathrooms also, there are lockers. Now, of course, when it was utilized as a bowling alley, like, people really weren't changing in and out of things, but people could put coats in lockers that are in the bathrooms and get ready. So when you enter the bathrooms, in addition to the stalls, there's a wall full of lockers and space in there to change and get ready.
Okay. So if you have families that want to come and watch, their spouse or their kids play soccer, where would they watch it from?
right there, you will have like bench area for the fans.
Okay,
Yeah.
but there isn't room on the sides or in between the courts?
There should be enough room for.
They could stand there? or
Yeah, first and yeah.
Take their life in their own risk, I guess, for the
Yeah.
ball, getting hit by the ball, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't pick that up from looking at those plans, and I know if my kids were playing soccer, I'd want to be there watching them every bit of the way. and-
Yeah. So the netting would divide. There'll be netting on that lower side,
Mhm.
and there'll be benches along
Okay,
the field.
all right, so I think you already know that the other concern that I had was the midnight hour. And what are the hours of your current location?
So the current location, right now, most of the trainings are after 2 p.m. 2 p.m. till like 11 p.m. or midnight. You know, anything late is just people that get out of work late and they just use it for exercise practice. Most of the weekday business is a lot of like private rentals. So let's say a group of 10 people come in, they want to rent and they want to play a pickup game. So most of the time weekdays, that's the business that we get is just rentals for pickup games.
Okay,
You know, the morning stuff, you know, we want to add, you know, here and there's some wellness classes like yoga, you know, stuff like that we can reuse the field during or slow hours in the morning for like something like that.
okay.
If I can also comment
Yes,
on
please.
your concern about the hours, so we were made aware of that. So what we would like to propose, and I'm not sure if this is the appropriate place to do it, was, you know, we'd go ahead and amend the hours to 11 p.m. to go ahead and cut things off. Assuming things go well with, you know, neighbors and such, maybe come back later on and seek an approval to extend to midnight, as long as everybody seems happy and such with their operations.
Okay, it's, yeah, I mean, I don't want to put a burden on you if it's not an issue, all right? So are you ladies here to talk about this case?
Yeah, I wanted to hear, we both did, what they had to say.
All right, well, I'll let you come up. I just want to make sure I'm going to
Yeah,
acknowledge
so,
you
yeah.
when it's time. Yeah, okay, I appreciate you making that comment. Anybody else have some questions for him before?
I have one question is, what do you expect, how many people do you expect to have in your restaurant at any one time?
I think usually each team has around 8 to 10 parents on each field will have 8 to 10 parents. So out of that, let's say from each field, probably, how would you,
25 people?
So you're
30?
talking about the restaurant,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then you're expecting a room
So,
for the restaurant.
so
to
just
cover.
it's the restaurant apart. So let's say coming from the business, from the soccer business going to the restaurant, or just the restaurant alone? If it's people from the soccer going into the restaurant, 10 to 15, you know, they're gonna go in and get some
10,
snack.
15,
Yeah.
okay.
Per hour, that there's
Yeah.
teams going in, 10 to 15.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff, do you have?
I just have a question. So you'll be open to the public for, as far as the bar and the restaurant? It just isn't like soccer players, moms and dads?
Correct.
Like if I want to come and eat there, I can come and eat
Yeah.
there? Okay, so you could have a lot of people, which is what you want, a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. you can say.
Okay, good. Well, I think it's a great idea. Perfect.
We're happy to hear that, so thank you.
Perfect. I think it's perfect for the location. I think it's perfect for the city of Crest Hill, for the kids, for the families. Good job.
Thank you.
John, do you have any questions? No?
I do.
Joe?
Will you be serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the restaurant?
So our plans is to serve breakfast. That's what we decided to do the early hours. You know, coffee, breakfast. So that's where our plans, just to keep the business moving in the morning when it's slower times.
Gordon? In the restaurant, are you going to have monitors so that if I drop my kid off and I want to go in and eat, I can still look up and see him scoring some goals or something like that?
Absolutely.
Is that
Yeah.
part of what your plan is?
Yeah,
to
so
have-
that's what we've been working on, like a live stream where it's like anywhere you look around, the screens of the field going
Yeah,
on.
that's awesome. Yeah, okay. Yep.
What do you think the potential staffing would be, the amount? I know it would vary, but
Let's see, I did bring stuff with, I can't recall if the staffing count was on here. Do you remember what you put for restaurants and soccer? for
We
staffing?
have it in the project narrative. Do you want me to pull it up really quick? The numbers. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't have that in my package.
I have it. I
If,
just found it.
yeah,
Give me a
thank you.
sec.
I think it was less than 30 employees, if I remember right. Yep, keep going. Yep, keep going. I think it was right under the hours, if I remember right. And it's still down there.
Yeah, I
There
thought
we
I
go.
saw that somewhere.
Anything in there about that?
Okay, so for the indoor soccer facility, it's gonna be employees 10 to 15. And for the restaurant, 6 to 10.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you. I will see if there's somebody in the audience that would like to come up, and then we'll probably have a couple questions for you
Great,
after
thank
they're
you.
done.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, are you both going to make a comment?
Yeah, I guess I will.
Please come up to the podium and sign your name, and then since it's a public hearing, I will swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please state your name and,
Robin Phelps.
okay,
Oh, Carrie Bolas.
thank you.
Just kind of wanted to see what they had to say about the place. I think it's a great idea for something to be going in there because it's awful looking like that.
You live in the area?
Been here almost 60 years, my whole life. I'm
Okay.
right down the street from the bowling alley. I was curious about the hours. I think midnight's a little excessive. Worried about the bar, because always living there, having a bar there, it was always very loud and broken bottles all over the place that never got cleaned up by the city. You had to go out there yourself and clean up the bottles. The loudness of on the weekends. Like I said, I think it's a great idea, and I had the same question about the restaurant, about if you would serve outsiders or just anybody that was there. So I think that's my main concern is about the bar and being open that late on the weekends. You know, with just people from the outside coming in just to sit and drink. And
Yeah, because there was a bar there before, they like to walk home, and there's disturbances of fights and
bottles all
bottles
over.
everywhere, and it becomes a mess.
That we have to clean up.
That we have to clean up.
Because the city don't do it. So we do, even if it's on the middle of the street.
But it's a good idea.
So it's
very
a
good
great,
idea,
it's a
yeah.
great idea for.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. So, but that's, I think, our concern is talking about it before this meeting. Because for some reason, I don't know if you guys sent out certified letters? Okay, yeah, 'cause got one. So I just wanted to come and asked her if she wanted to see what it was about.
Well,
So-
thank you for coming, and thank you for your comments. Okay, is there anybody else? Yes, Ron?
Not a resident, but familiar with the property and have been involved from the city side, dealing with the applicant and their broker and about the property. Over the time I've been with the city, helping the city for the last few years now, I think I wanted to take just a minute to share some perspective about liquor at this facility. I was involved with a meeting with George and his dad early on when they were, and Omar, early on when they were exploring the opportunity with the mayor, who's also the city's liquor commissioner. And I think it's safe to say the mayor was open to the concept of this building being repurposed in the manner that they're proposing, but did share some of the same concerns that were raised by the residents. And from my perspective, I think he was pretty clear in his expectations that this would be a liquor license that would be issued to a restaurant to allow the restaurant to serve alcohol, not a liquor license served to a bar that's gonna maybe serve some food. So, you know, and there's a big difference. It's, you know, it's defined in the liquor code. There's different licenses for those two different types of arrangements. And the mayor made it very clear to George and his father and Omar that all he would be receptive to would be issuing a liquor license for a restaurant to be able to serve alcohol. So what practically that means is that somebody really can't just go hang out for 5 or 6 hours and drink. You know, they're there to have food and drink while they're have a drink or two or whatever they're gonna have while they're eating the food, and watching people, their kids maybe practice for an hour and a half, whatever that is. So it's certainly not something that the mayor would be supportive of, to have a bar there that would have parties and have the types of issues that in the past have occurred there, which were related primarily to over-service of alcohol. I think one thing is important to note, at least from my perspective, and the mayor and I talked about it, is that he is very hands-on when it comes to being the liquor commissioner. He sets out his expectations clearly. If there are issues, he calls in the recipients of liquor licenses to have a talk and to remind them of all the expectations that he laid out clearly before they started operating and the liquor license is issued. And he's not afraid to revoke the liquor license in town. Now, there's, you know, that happens on a somewhat, unfortunately, somewhat more frequent basis than what you would expect would need be. And in this case, the reality of it is that you're talking about a family from the community that is going to buy this facility, and a big component of the purchase of the facility from an economic standpoint, to make it economically viable, is to have a restaurant with liquor service. So a restaurant without liquor service probably won't be as successful and economically profitable. So I think it will be in the best interest of the family to make sure that they comply with the expectations that are set forth in the city's code for this type of liquor license. And I don't think they're going to want to put them in themselves in a situation where they're serving liquor to a point where it's creating problems for the neighborhood, and their license would be revoked, could be revoked. So I think they have a lot of self-interest, not only community interest, but self-interest to do the right thing. And I think so far, based on all the work that they've done and the communications they've had with city staff and the mayor, that at this point in time, we have no reason to believe that they're not going to follow through and do what they said, which is invest in the property, upgrade the property, and create a location that is attractive to a broad spectrum of people in the community, including families and children.
All right, thank you. Thank you for those comments.
I have a question. There's so much information here, but what are the hours again?
So for the, indoor soccer facility, hours are Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to midnight. Restaurant is Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Are we gonna, so that is my question too, are we gonna keep this the same, or do you need any changes?
Well, because you're talking about liquor and food, you're serving food with liquor, and do people come in and eat at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock? So if you're trying to separate or have combination of serving food and liquor as a service to the, restaurant patrons, but the eating time is usually ends around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Does it continue to 11? So maybe we should reconsider the hours for the restaurant to keep the liquor, so it's not just a drinking establishment after eating hours. That's just my thoughts.
Am I able to comment on that?
Yes, you can.
So what I'll say about that is that some of the patrons visiting, let's just say the soccer facility, might be coming after work. They might work, maybe a swing shift or closer to second shift and all that. So after practicing and playing on the field, then they might sit down to have something to drink or eat, I should say eat or drink, after participating on the soccer field. So I think it might be of service to those people that work later and then come in afterwards to still be able to allow at least food and maybe some alcohol service.
Yeah, I think it's been, go ahead.
I'm thinking that providing food for the restaurant and the soccer players and what have you should be maybe up to 11 o'clock, but alcohol should stop at a decent hour, say, I don't know, 8 o'clock? And then you could still serve, non-alcoholic drinks, et cetera, to 11 or midnight in that case.
Okay, yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think, that's also valid, but at the same time, it's like, we're kind of copy and pasting like what other bowling, like, there used to be a bowling alley, other bowling alleys do the same thing, where they say serve food and alcohol until almost their closing time. Like I said, we're not gonna be targeting people that just come in and sit down and have a beer. I think like you address this like a family-oriented business, and most of the time that people go in, that they're gonna know it's, we're investing a lot of money into it, that we're not gonna make it a place where people just hang out and just, gonna be drinking, and we're gonna make it like a family-oriented business, that when you go in, it's not the right place to get drunk or, cause any issues.
True. Well, it's just a suggestion, it's just make it easier to control the patrons on the drinking portion. So I think if we have a policy to stop the drinking, I'm talking alcohol. Anyway, just take that into consideration, because it's no longer a bowling alley. It's a soccer facility, and a lot of times athletes like to drink. I know this. I've been an athlete. Playing sports and drinking is the greatest thing for relaxation, etc. But you got other people going in a restaurant. You got to have some sort of a control. Anyway, food for thought.
Yeah, it sounds like the liquor license for the restaurant, obviously we'd want to abide by that at the very least, right? Just make sure that we respect those hours. And then to comment on the concern about, people breaking bottles and being unruly, I think the clientele for the soccer field is very different than a bowling alley, right? So, I'll say that I don't think that most people go to a soccer field just to sit there, kick the ball around and drink until they cause trouble. So I think, that should help hopefully ease any concerns as it relates to that.
And if I can comment something else, thank you, I The biggest thing is, we're invested, it's been something that we've been wanting to do for the longest, and we're putting our hearts into it, and I know that, the trash and all that stuff, trust me, we're gonna make sure that place is looking clean, phenomenal,
It's just this the aspect of a bar.
Yeah.
And when there's that bar, she's had a car through her yard, almost up into her house. There's just lots of things that run on, but your idea is great. It is. It's a good idea. It's just you put that bar and people hear the word bar.
Yeah.
And it's always been a bowling alley. I grew up going to a bowling alley. And, it was numerous bowling alleys, but people are always gonna think, it's always gonna be a bowling alley to me. I know what you guys want to do, but it'll always be the bowling alley. But people know there's a bar there, and it's down the street, it's up the street, it's across the street. They're heading right to it because there's a bar. And that's my biggest concern. And especially if you live right there, and you've had to clean up the messes after the weekend, and you've raised 4 kids right there, and numerous have gotten cut throughout the years, because it's on your sidewalk or by your fence, or it's in the street, that becomes an issue, because of the broken glass, and your children are little and they're fall. I've had 2 kids out of 4 fall into it and get cut when they were little. And like I said, the street, city doesn't want to clean it up. That went to all the neighbors. I'm talking from there to there. So that's our main concern, but other than that,
No, we're really hands-on,
it's just a
we'll make sure.
So, it's just, it's not the it's people. It's people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you, and thank you again, ladies. Are we done with the discussion for the public hearing?
I have one more question. When do you plan on opening?
As soon as all the work is done that they've stipulated to do, so,
We want to get as soon as, if we can get a rush team in there, July, August, I think. We just want to be ready for the winter season and to get advantage of the winter. So,
Good question, thank you. All right, thank you. So at this point, with no further questions, I would like to get a motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, are we gonna keep the hours of operation the same that is stated in the staff
Well,
report?
we're going to talk about that, but not in the public hearing.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make it.
Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Peterson, second by Commissioner Slobozeski. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson.
Yes.
Cheryl Slabazeski.
Yes.
John Stanton.
Yes.
Gordon Butler.
Yes.
Ken Carroll.
Yes.
Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion
Public
carries,
hearing
thank you.
closed at 7:58. Okay, so some more discussion. I think everyone should take a great deal of confidence by the comment that Ron made and that Omar made it. This is not a bar, this is a restaurant that serves alcohol. So it's not like somebody's gonna drive by and say, oh, let's go in there and have 3 or 4 beers and then continue on. They're gonna have to buy something to eat, which is gonna kind of offset the thing. Now, having said that, as a really good positive, and when I saw that and read all that, and then I looked at the sign that you're proposing to have that says sports bar on it, I got a problem with that sign. If it's not gonna be a bar, you can't put a sign out there that says sports bar. If you wanted to, and I think below it, it said something about the restaurant, that there was a restaurant there. Let me see, no, it doesn't. So it doesn't really say anything on this sign. It says sports bar and then playtime soccer. So I actually spent some time surfing the internet to look at different soccer-related names for a restaurant and a lounge, let's say. And there's some really neat things, my favorite was Corner Kick Lounge. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, but I am going to say I have a problem with the sports bar sign after we spent all this time talking about the fact that it's not a bar. I would almost rather have you say sports restaurant or something, that serves alcohol. But, I mean, do you see where I'm coming from there? I mean, does it seem to make sense that we're kind of speaking out of both sides of our mouth there? We're not going to have a bar, but we're going to call it a bar?
And we don't mind changing the name, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to tell you how to name it. I'm just saying I have,
Can I say something? I quite honestly don't think that would have any effect. I think the controlling, the timing of eating and drinking is the key. You can name it anything you want. When there's a bar inside there, how are you going to control that?
well, they're not
Because
going
a
to
sign
serve
is
them
not gonna
alcohol.
control it.
They're not going to serve alcohol unless they buy food. I think that's what I heard him say.
Well, that's true, but, I mean, realistically, it's 11 o'clock.
Well, I have a question, is the bar itself, is it gonna have, are people gonna be allowed to sit at the bar? Okay, so you'll have a number of bar stools there where they can actually sit at the bar? Okay, and then, but they will have to buy food in order to drink?
I mean, I can envision the people that are going to be there eating or drinking from, let's say, 10 to 11 are related to who's ever playing soccer out there, and they work late, and now they want to eat, and now they're going to watch their kids play soccer, but they want to eat there, and rather than somebody driving by at, 10:30 at night saying, oh, I want to stop and have dinner, I don't know. And, they would say, I want to stop and have a drink before I get home, but they have to have food as well. And, I believe you when you say that. And I think that's a key element to my thought process about, let the liquor be there. I know that it's going to help you to the bottom line, but I really want to take you up on your offer because I don't want to say I feel really strongly about it but I do. And the offer would be that I would like to see you amend the soccer hours to match the restaurant hours, to stay open till 11 o'clock. And I agree that if you find out after 6 months or a year that, wow, this is costing you business, and you want to come back, at this point, it would probably be to the Liquor Commission and say, we need to stay open till midnight, or else. And if they come back to the Plan Commission and I'm still sitting in this chair, I would be very open to that as long as you would try doing it till 11. And if it's not going to work, I mean, what you're doing is incredible. And we certainly don't want to do anything to take away from you being able to make a really good living doing something that's incredible, that's going to make that neighborhood look so much better than that dilapidated building and terrible-looking parking lot right now. I mean, that's awful. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and that is really an eyesore, and it's been an eyesore for 6 years. Bless you for wanting to do something to make that look better, and I think they would agree. So, any more comments? How do we feel about my comment, keeping the restaurant and the soccer field to the same 11 p.m.?
I think we should just let them do what they want to do. And if there's an issue, then the police would be involved, and the liquor commissioner would be involved, and then it would be decided. So for tonight, I'm saying, leave them go.
What about you, John?
Leave, over 1 hour, we're gonna make a big deal.
Well, that's a big deal. To me, that's a big deal, because the people that leave at 11 are still going to be driving home until noon. The people that leave at midnight are going to be out there till 1 o'clock driving home. I have a real problem with that. But I'm not going to make the
That's not our
decision. We're all in
decision.
this together here.
That's their decision if they're gonna serve the guy. I mean, you're talking about guys that are drunk. If he's not gonna be drunk there, he's gonna be drunk someplace else.
Yeah.
So we can't shut them down because of some drunk guy going out at midnight.
Yeah.
We'll leave it alone.
What do you think, John?
I don't mind the hours. What I like to see is some control on the alcohol, serving alcohol. They can have a refreshment later, like at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight. If they want to have a drink, they could hold off until after they eat and leave. It's just preventing people who just wants to drink they can order small french fry and have a case of beer. You got to make some sense out of it. Or is there any control on it? Or you got to buy a large dinner and then you can have a drink. You got to buy another dinner, have another drink. Let's have some common sense. You can have the hours to midnight, but control the hours for drinking alcohol. That's my suggestion.
I'm in favor of keeping the restaurant open until, and the restaurant hours and the soccer hours the same, so that when the kids are done playing soccer, they go home, and so do the people from the bar. I do have one other question, though, is that if you really run into a unruly drunk, I mean, how would you go about controlling this guy, getting him out of there outside of calling the police?
So we're really, like, hands-on, our bartenders and everything, look into that before you serve them. If they see that these are, even before you start getting drunk, like, we'll make sure people are on top of it, making sure that,
Yeah, because, growing up, I attended a lot of Polish weddings, and I know what can happen when people get unruly when they drink. And I listen to the ladies back there, and they have an excellent point. It's something you don't want to be listening from your bedroom window at 1 o'clock in the morning or at midnight even, for that matter. So, okay.
Cheryl?
I think we can just leave it as is and just monitor the situation. I did have an additional question. Will you be having security cameras?
Yes.
Inside and out? Okay. Do you have a company that you hired?
Yeah.
Commissioner Butler, comment?
Yeah, I have no problem keeping the hours till midnight, as long as, again, monitor, and, if there's a patron that's not, it's unruly, make sure that they're out and ask to leave.
And just a couple additional thoughts and some pieces of information to consider as it relates to alcohol service. Anytime a business serves alcohol, they are required to get dram shop insurance, which is to provide additional layer of insurance protection for alcohol-related incidents. As part of that insurance, it's mandatory that people that are going to be serving alcohol go through a special training to deal with unruly customers, to monitor customers. It's kind of a precursor that, in a sense, kind of a certification they need to get to be eligible to get the insurance that they need to have the proper protections for that type of business. So that is something that the city doesn't require, but it happens just naturally, which is a good thing for all of us, I think. We've come a long way to try to help put staff that serve people alcohol in a better position to avoid problems, not just deal with them. I also would tell you that I've worked with a number of police chiefs in my career, including the Crest Hill police chief, and if there is any semblance of anybody becoming unruly for any reason, including because of they're inebriated, the police want to be called. They don't want the business owner to feel like they have to take care of it itself, because you need to have the authority figure that has the proper equipment and training and backup to be there so it doesn't escalate into a situation that then gets beyond what one of the staff members. So it's a partnership. I mean, the police department wants to be working in partnership with owners of businesses like this to make sure that they avoid a problem getting to a situation getting to a point where it's a big problem. And then last, I also wanted to share that it was probably towards the end of last year, the city council did discuss and ultimately did modify the liquor control licensing provisions of the city code to expand the hours that restaurants that serve alcohol can serve alcohol. Unfortunately, the reality of it is that most national chains, Chili's, Applebee's, Olive Garden, maybe not every night of the week, but at least on the weekends, they typically are open and serve food and alcohol till 11 o'clock. And the city, their previous regulations limited alcohol service at restaurants until 10 o'clock. And it was a contributing factor to one of the reasons why you don't see those types of national restaurants, or in the past, coming to Crest Hill. And the 11 or 12, the city expanded it to 12 o'clock. They're voluntarily agreeing to 11 o'clock. The 11 o'clock is pretty consistent with what you see in other communities that are competitors for locations for businesses of this type. Ultimately, I think it might be appropriate to provide the city council input from the plan commission if you think they should be restricted, but ultimately, I think the city council is the body and the liquor commissioner that would be the appropriate decision maker, and ultimately they are, so. It's not like they haven't thought about this.
Right. No, that's a very good point. So, I mean, if we just take what we just talked about as a straw vote, I mean, it's 4-2 to keep the hours the same. So, and I really feel confident. I mean, I've only known you guys for, wow, that long, 2 hours.
I just want to.
Feel very confident. I also feel very confident that the city staff has done a lot of homework in talking with you. That, go ahead, say one last.
Yeah, I mean, I thank you for explaining the situation with being in competition in the providing alcohol, what have you, in a restaurant setting. As long as there's control, if there's control within the organization, just making sure it doesn't go out of hand. And I agree with what you have to say.
Okay, so the last thing before we come to a vote is I just want to talk about the conditions. I know that you received the amended conditions where we added condition number 6 that had to do with the city of Crest Hill curfew for particularly children under the age of 15 in public places, of which you meet the definition, being at 9:30, if they're unaccompanied. We weren't saying that that's something you're going to violate, but we wanted to get it into the public record rather than in a month you say, wow, we didn't know that group of 15-year-olds that walked over here from the neighborhood couldn't be here past 9:30 because they have no guardian there. And so having said that our approval, if we give it, is going to be conditioned on these 6 conditions, of which the 6 you now got days ago. And I believe you have agreed to that, acknowledging that you now know what the curfew is for young kids. Because I hope you get a lot of young kids and teach them how to play soccer really well, so that future of the soccer sport continues. So, having said that, can I have a motion to approve the request of George Cruz seeking approval for a special use and variations for an indoor recreational and entertainment soccer facility conditioned on the 6 conditions we just previously discussed?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson,
I'll second that.
second by Commissioner Carroll. Roll call,
Jeff
please.
Peterson,
Yes.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
Cheryl Slebazeski,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So the Plan Commission unanimously recommends City Council's conditional approval of the special use for an indoor recreational and entertainment soccer facility and variations from Section 15.12.080, signs in business districts, Chapter 15.12 of the Crest Hill Code of Ordinances, the sign code to increase permitted sign area from 50 square feet to 89 square feet, increase permitted digital sign area from 20 feet to 54 square feet, and increase the permitted sign height from 15 feet to 21 feet, and decrease the required setback from the property line from 10 feet to 3 feet for an existing on-premises freestanding sign, subject to the project being implemented in substantial conformance with the 6 conditions for approval and the application documents in the April 9th, 2026 Plan Commission report for petitions case SU-26-3-4-1 and case V-26-3-4-1. So that's our recommendation. I am going to put, and you'll notice, I didn't change anything. The hours will remain the same, but I am going to forward a note to the city council that says we had this discussion about changing them, and we have agreed to leave it up to the city council for the final determination, whether they lower it to 11 or they keep, no matter what they do, they're the ultimate decision on that. So
Understood, thank you.
our recommendation will be forwarded to city council. Again, the city council workshop is April 27th.
Yes.
And then they will make a vote on May 4th. And again, I can't thank you two enough, particularly for the Cruz family, for wanting to invest in the lives of soccer players, particularly the younger ones, and expanding your existing business and staying in Crest Hill. That means a lot to us. And then taking a 6-year-old vacant property and having the vision to turn that into something that is going to really complement the neighborhood, as it will with all the plans that you've agreed to. So thank you very much. We wish you the best of success with not only the soccer training facility, but with the restaurant and what other activities you're able to put on in there. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for coming. And ladies, again, thank you for coming and for your comments. With that, is there any other business that we have to take care of?
I don't have any other business, Ron.
All right. Is there anybody else, anyone in the audience that wants to make a comment about anything else than what we've been talking about? I know my wife would like to go home, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson, second by Commissioner Slabozowski. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson.
Yes.
Cheryl Slabozowski.
Yes.
John Stanton.
Yes.
Ken Carroll.
Yes.
Gordon Butler.
Yes.
Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Meeting adjourned at 8:18, and thank you again for attending.